Hey everybody, I just wanted to bring you a quick video today to show you some things that you can do with a stability ball if you happen to have one. I know lots of folks use them as their desk chair or something like that. It's not something I usually do during group exercise because a lot of people don't have them. But if you happen to have one, I wanted to show you some things that you can do with that. I also am going to utilize my laundry jug here for some of the exercises. If you don't have hand weights, this is a great option. Also, you could use something like a water or milk jug if you wanted to. Then you can control how much it weighs by how much you have in it. Of course, don't drop it. Make sure the lid's on tight if it's liquid. But you can also fill it partway with sand if that works for you. So just a great option. Of course, you could always use something like a backpack, a briefcase, or something else, any household object. All right, so the first one that I actually want to do with you is going to be a rotational chopping motion. So I'm going to take the bottle, I'm holding it straight out in front of me. I'm going to go down to one side and lift it across my body. Okay, so we're going to do a lot of core exercises today. Your eyes are going to follow your hands. If this is a little bit too heavy, you're going to want to lighten it up. The idea here is that your trunk muscles are what is supporting you and creating the motion. I'm just going to do maybe two more to this side. Notice I'm actually going pretty slow and controlled. All right, and then I'm going to take it to the other side. So from here, lower it to one side, raising it just to shoulder height. Again, rotating at my feet, using those core muscles to stabilize. All right, I'm just going to do two more in this direction. And then next up, you can do this seated, standing, or even in a half kneeling position, whichever feels better. I'm going to hold it straight out, and then I'm going to bring it from one side around to the other side, side to side. So you're going to pull one shoulder blade back, just bring it across your body. So again, you can do this standing, half kneeling, whichever feels better. If I face you, you can kind of see my elbows go to one side and then go to the other side, really bringing the elbows behind you. So I'll come this way so you can just see how far the elbow is coming back. This is a great core exercise. It also really helps to loosen up your shoulders. So really good for that. I'm just going to do a couple more to each side. All right. And now I'm going to take the ball, and you can do this with your feet up against a wall if you're more comfortable that way. I'm just going to lay on it. My feet are actually on my mat, so they're not going to go anywhere. And from here, I'm going to try to keep my body in a straight line. And I'm going to make the letter T with my arms, just bringing my arms straight back, squeezing the shoulder blades, trying to keep the head in line with your body. So we're going to make 3 different letters here today. We've got the T. I'm going to do a few more of those. You can do these with weights in your hand, but I would recommend the first couple times at least, just trying to do them with nothing. Believe it or not, you will feel that more than you think. All right, the next letter we're going to make is the letter Y or V. So arms are diagonal, lifting straight, activating those shoulder blades, trying to keep the arms as straight as you can, lifting them to your ears. All right, from there, I'm going to make the letter W. At least I think that looks like a W. So coming from here, thumbs go right on the top of your shoulders, elbows to your sides as you squeeze your shoulder blades back. And your back should be nice and relaxed in this position. I'm just going to do 3 more here. All right, and then if you want to try starting with your thumbs right about the top of your shoulders. You can reach straight up and then bring your shoulders or your thumbs right back to the top of your shoulders. This one's a little bit harder, but it's really great for some strength and range of motion in your shoulders. The ball is a great place to do this. You could lean on something else if you wanted to. This just really takes any other supporting muscles out of it and helps you to focus more on your shoulders. All right, and the shoulders are going to start to get pretty tired there, especially if you go through multiple sets. All right, so that's enough of that. I'm going to now come back down on my knees on my mat, putting my elbows on the ball. I'm going to roll out until my body is in almost a straight line and then bring the ball right back. You can do this kneeling. If you're a little more confident in your core strength, you can come up on your feet. It'll be a little bit more manageable with your feet wider, but then all you're doing is moving your elbows away from your body just a little bit. You can go a lot farther on your knees than you can in this full plank position, but great core challenging exercise. We're just going a little bit forward and a little bit back with that ball. I'm going to do about 3 more here. All right, and then I'm going to show you 2 different variations. I'm going to come back with my stomach on the ball, and I'm going to bring my jug around to the side. I'm going to put my other hand behind my back, and then from here, I'm going to reach around the ball to pull the jug. And of course, it's only going to go right to the floor, but this is a great way to do a single arm row, making it a little more challenging than other ways that we can do that. So of course, you're going to want to do both sides. So I'll do 3 more on this side, and then I'm going to switch sides. Of course, if your ball has a little more air in it, then you won't be quite so close to the floor. All right. And when you're rolling yourself out on your ball, go to your comfort level. Sometimes I like it right underneath my chest. Sometimes I like it a little bit more underneath my stomach. It just depends what feels good for you. It's going to keep your back nice and safe. Squeezing that shoulder blade, pulling it behind you around the ball. All right, and I'm going to do 3 more of those on that side. And I will show you 1 more rowing variation before we're done. But now I'm actually going to roll my body all the way out. So from this position, hands on the floor, and I'm going to roll out into a plank this way. Oh, just lost my head. That's okay. Not really. Come back just a little bit. This is another great core exercise. So from here, you can keep your shins on the ball. You can do push-ups in this position, but you can also then bring your knees in and out. That's going to be a great core exercise. You don't want to let your back sag down at all, but trying to keep it in a nice neutral position. Your shoulders are right over your hands. All right. That is a great one to try. And then to come back off the ball, you can just roll yourself back, or if you prefer, you can roll off of it sideways. All right, the next one I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sit on the ball. And there's lots of things we can do this way as well. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll myself out. Notice how nicely I slide on the floor. And with your head and your neck completely supported, you're going to push your head a little bit into the ball to make sure your neck is supported. And then feet are about hip width apart. You're going to squeeze your glutes and just press the jug straight up and down off of your chest. First, you can go as heavy or as light with this as you want to. If you really want to get a bigger challenge, you can try to do it 1 arm at a time. I'll show you that here in just a second. but I'm going to do 3 more this way first. And then again, if you wanted to, you could hold it on one side and simply do a lopsided press. That's a lot of core coordination, but this is an exercise that works really well laying on the edge of your couch, or again, on the edge of a footstool or something. I'm going to go ahead and switch sides, just making sure that if it's filled with liquid, your lid is on tight, so you don't go pouring it all over yourself. I'm going to do 3 more on that side. And you can actually pass it back and forth. So you could do 1, pass it over, 1, pass it over. Of course, I have dumbbells, but sometimes it's really fun to use the jug because it adds a little bit of an element of stability. So it requires a little bit more core control and coordination. All right, I'm going to do 2 more of those on each side. And then before I come down off the ball, I'm actually going to hold on to it this way. And I'm going to reach it slightly over my head and bring it right back to center. Reaching it slightly over and bring it back. I'm not going to demonstrate this, but if you feel very confident in your core strength and you wanted to, you could always lift 1 foot at a time, which will add another element of stability. But generally speaking, the wider your feet are, the more stable you're going to be. The closer they are together, or if you pick one up, it's going to make it that much more challenging. So I'm just going to do 2 more of these. All right, and I'm going to set the jug down. You can always roll yourself back up, or you can just sit down off of it. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, you can do this with your jug, or you can just do it with the ball. It's kind of fun to do it that way as well. I'm going to lean back just to where I feel my stomach muscles are holding me there, and I'm just going to come side to side with the ball. I'm actually not rotating my trunk at all, but what I'm doing is very similar to the exercise that I did, holding on to the jug. One elbow comes behind me, and then the other one does. So I will show you that with the jug as well. Just another great core exercise that you can do. So, and if I set this down and I wanted to grab this instead, it's just gonna look like that. So almost the same exercise we did in that kneeling position, but now my core muscles are just holding me up. I'm just gonna do 3 more of those to each side. And 3. And then from here, you could also push it away. So once again, just in that stabilizing position, you can do this with the ball or with the jug. And what you're gonna feel is those trunk muscles just holding you up. If you start to feel that too much in your lower back, what I would recommend is to sit up a little bit more and keep the jug a little closer to your body. So I'm just gonna do 3 more like that. All right, and then I'm gonna lay all the way down and put my feet up on the ball. There's a couple different ways we can do this. You can do it with your arms, or I'm sorry, with your legs straight or with your legs bent. And from here, I'm just gonna lift up. I can add varying levels of a challenge to this. So first off, you can just bend and straighten your legs, which is gonna work everything on the back side of your body. If you wanna add another bit of a challenge to that, ooh, that's a good core challenge. Lifting that jug straight up, trying to hold it there, and then bending and straightening, or just balancing. Both of those are great core challenges, just like that. The other way you could do it would be to bend your knees, putting your feet a little more flat on the ball, then lifting up. You can hold static right there and press up and down with the jug or with weights, or just hold it. You should feel everything on the back side of your legs. So it's hard to tell on the video, but my butt is probably 2 or 3 inches off the floor. So everything behind me is working right now. I'm just gonna do 3 more like that, and I'm gonna set it down. Whew. All right, last one I'm gonna show you for today, and that is, you can actually try to grab the ball underneath your legs, which depending on the length of your legs and how big your ball is, can be a challenge. From there, you can actually grip it a little bit wider like that, and then you can try to lift the ball on and off the floor, where keeping your head down and your neck relaxed. That's actually a great core exercise as well. So I'm pushing my lower back into the floor, and I'm just gripping the ball with my legs. And then you can really feel all those trunk muscles activating. It's hard to pick the ball very far off the floor, trust me. All right, I'm just gonna do 3 more of those. If you enjoyed any of those exercises and you wanna go back through them, I would recommend just rewind and go back through them as many times as you would like, adding as much of a challenge as you want. Thanks everybody, join me again next time. I hope you enjoyed that.